Finally tonight, from the Revolutionary War at home to Afghanistan abroad, the U.S. Army has always been this country's first line of defense. Now, the brave men and women who wore the uniform are being honored in a new museum. Once again, here's Chip Reid.
The U.S. Army, the nation's oldest military service, has 245 years of heroes and history.
This is the actual Bradley fighting vehicle that led the Army's charge into Iraq.
Museum Director Tammy Call has overseen its creation for 6 years.
Why is this museum so important to you?
Well, to me, just the history that it contains, the stories that it contains of our soldiers that are so willing to serve this nation, to sacrifice for this nation, and just be able to share that with our American society.
The 1,400 artifacts go back to the Revolutionary War. Battle scenes are meticulously portrayed. Here, climbing into a landing craft on D-Day, 1944, and here in Afghanistan.
So you used real soldiers to pose for these figures?
Absolutely. They can show their families. They can show them what it was like.
Sergeant James Akinola, the 2020 U.S. Army Soldier of the Year, was overwhelmed.
I'm looking at everything from the past to the present, and I'm like, dang, this is really what I'm serving in. This is really what I chose to join.
One of the most prized items is a sword carried in 1814 at Fort McHenry. The battle that inspired the Star-Spangled Banner. That same year, Congress directed the Army to preserve its history. Now, more than 200 years later, the U.S. Army finally has a national museum to call its own. Chip Reid, CBS News, Fort Belvoir, Virginia.
It's about time. Thank you, veterans.